RC, before we go on, we have a rather timid group here because we don't have that many questioners. So I want to encourage those of you to come forward. Now, you've heard the old saying that there are no stupid questions. RC doesn't believe that.
I know, but I think I'm about to hear one.
RC, that was not the segue I was anticipating.
Dr. Godfrey's trying to hide out, so let me just go to you. Where was Jesus between the crucifixion and the resurrection? Look, you've rested up this whole time. Get in the game.
I'm a church historian. Well, they're asking you a historical question, Bob.
I'd like to say a few words about the immutability of God.
Which I think is actually based on Psalm 27.
Don't go there, just stay exactly where you are.
Psalm 27. We will pronounce A's as in Psalm, and O's as in God.
Yes.
And not reverse the trend, yes. Alistair.
I love to tell Roman Catholics that I meet that their fourth pope was actually a Protestant. And
so was their first one.
Yes.
The greatest fear that I have in the pastorate is that some lady in the congregation will paint my portrait and I'll have to hang it in the church. You've received those, haven't you? Yeah. Why did you come here?
I came here to go to seminary.
Did you?
Yeah.
How long ago?
8 years ago. Okay, the questions are supposed to go this direction.
No, but I think you're an illustration.
Honestly, I could have gone to any number of churches.
Well,
Seminary
that's what I'm saying. You moved from Indian country, Albuquerque.
Yeah. I did.
And you came here.
And honestly, it was an easy choice for us because we loved this church immediately as soon as we were here.
Why did you love this church?
We love this church because of the teaching at this church. We love this church because of the congregation. We love this church because they had biblical theology. We love this church because they baptized people in water and church disciplined people in sin. And we love this church for 1,000 reasons.
Because it was biblical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm just making a point.
I'm realizing I have to ask Dr. Ferguson direct questions to get him involved, and so I'm now going to do that. Dr. Ferguson, if God is simple and the Trinity and its attributes are all concentrated in one, how does God the Father pour his wrath on God the Son on the cross? You follow the question?
Yes. I follow the question. I actually thought I didn't have a microphone, so I was sitting up here quite happily. And then dear Ligon, who's about twice as intelligent as I had, said, "You're sitting on it, pal."
Well, I'm glad we heard nothing from you then at the time.
The thing I admire about him is his discernment. Ask me the question again, Rick.
Yes.
What is the Reformed view of speaking in tongues?
Nantamanid groiw loiw yn ymdroelli tua'r pant. Rhwng y brwyn yn sisial gan i o'n abani fel yna. My brother here says
Now, I hear people tell me all the time they're four-point Calvinists, and I say, well, we call those Arminians.
The deity of Christ, it's wrath directed to Christ as mediator, Christ as God-man.
Time out. There you go into my lecture again. I only got one more lecture.
Okay.
And you guys keep wanting to give it.
So that when he's just ignore him for a minute. Somebody look after Grandpa here.
And I don't know, is John still here? I wanted to tell a cute little story on John.
Good, this is the perfect time to do it.
Well, if I'd tell it anyway if he was here, but I just want to make sure I got it right. So
that doesn't matter. If it's interesting, tell it.
I'm working hard to think of a stupid question that I could ask. No, listen, I played golf with you a few years ago, and you certainly weren't at that point playing the game that you played before and that you loved. And I just want to deal with the truth, and I know you do too. Is it true that you got a hole-in-one recently?
No.
When you depart from this earth, what is the one statement you would leave on your tombstone?
I told you I was sick.
RC, is it true that you now publicly hold a post-tribulational view?
Did I do what?
I was told to ask you this. Is it true that you now publicly hold a post-tribulational view?
A post-tribulational view of what?
I believe the return of our Lord Jesus.
Well, the return or the raptures. Is this post-trib rapture question?
I'll just let you answer it the way you want to.
Well, is it true that I publicly now hold to a post-tribulation return or rapture?
Probably rapture is the
Yes.
issue, yes.
That's usually when you're using the pre and post.
Do you
or
think
mid
they mean
with-
post-millennial?
No, I think
No,
it's
they're
tribulational.
asking about tribulation here, okay? Well, the suggestion that I now hold to it.
Could you just tell us what now means in that sentence, RC?
Are you being that or are you becoming it, RC?
Well, it suggests some kind of shift in my thinking, doesn't it? And also, it suggests that, like, I'm coming out of the closet. Because the next time I believe in the pre-tribulation rapture will be the first time I believe in the pre-tribulation rapture.
John, another question that people frequently ask me, and I know the answer to this one, but I want these guys to hear how emphatic you are. People often ask, will there come a time when you retire?
Look, I just tell people around here, if I make sense, leave me alone. Now, the problem is going to be when I don't make sense, I won't believe that I don't make sense.
And the language of evangelism in our day is we speak of invitations. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to come.
Where was Jesus between the crucifixion and the resurrection?
His body was in the grave, and his spirit was with the Father, because when he died, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. That's just a humble church historian's answer. I'm sure the systematicians can confuse us on this point.
Okay. So you're saying his body was lying in the grave, his spirit was with the Father. Now, I had a number of questions about 1 Peter 3:19, that he went to Hades and he preached to the spirits in hell. What to make of that?
I answered my question.
Dr. Sproul, what do you now believe about that?
Well,
I'm Joey Kazenza, and my question is, why did Jesus stop Eve at the Garden of Eden when she ate the fruit? He can just stop it like that. Why didn't he?